Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Best Heating and Cooling, serving Lynn, Benton, and Marion counties since 1990. Call 503-394-3461 and online at Best. Join Bosun Hub in supporting CASA of Lynn County. Court-appointed special advocates for children. Learn more at lyncasa.org. Innovative solutions for your payment processing needs. 877-460-4747. Memory care at the Arbor at Avamere Court and independent living at Avamere at Albany. Learn more online, arbor@avamerecourt.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate. Statewide experts in luxury home sales, farm, ranch, commercial, business sales, and land developments. Call 541-250. Visit them online at dore.llc.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
Ta-da! Here we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott. So great to be here this morning. How are you doing, Scott?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. Last week, we got to focus on a new book that was just released by this stellar author, international best-selling author, Russ Hedge, our own inspiration specialist, with his new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. And just to remind everybody that you have a book signing coming up.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. Everybody, if you are in the local area this coming Saturday from 10 to 4 at Willamette Valley Christian Supply in Albany, Oregon at the Heritage Mall, we'll be there signing books. If you already have a book, bring it. If you need a book, we got it. And it's going to be an amazing time. So please come visit us. It'll be just so much fun. And really looking forward to that, Scott.
Yeah, bring your Christmas shopping list and buy books for everybody you know. And Russ will autograph them personally. They're on the nice or naughty list.
Yes, there you go. So, and I've already had somebody tell me I need 10 books. I'm coming. So that's great. Come and get all the books you need. And so looking forward to that. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Kevin and Krista Ferguson, who own Willamette Valley Christian Supply, amazing people. We've had Kevin on before, an amazing friend, and just so thankful to be able to support them as they support me. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Great to see everything that's happening with the book. And congratulations, Russ. You hit number 1 on Amazon.
Yes, I know. Very good. I got hit a couple of categories. Number 1, so thankful for that. And but just really thankful that it's local also this week. And so everybody in the local area, come down and see us. It's going to be fun. 10 to 4, Heritage Mall, Willamette Valley Christian Supply. Scott, what do you got going on this week?
Well, it's the middle of the month. Hard to believe, but next week is Thanksgiving. So my wife is very busy working with, she volunteers with a group called Friends for Life, providing services for seniors and people with disabilities, helping them live their best life as independently as possible. She's been out procuring food for the 1,000 meals that they're going to deliver on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm doing what I can to support my wife in that activity. It's great. And it's fun to see people stepping forward and wanting to help.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It's amazing organizations that come together and people like Christine who will actually jump in and give their time to help feed others. Just an amazing, amazing thing. So I think that is so.
It's interesting you mentioned the time, because we are going to be talking about my radio show, The WACO Experience, an American Story, as we're celebrating 1 year on the air on KBBW. I just recorded an interview, and it's going to release this Saturday with our local leader for Special Olympics. And one of the things that she talked about was, it's great when people donate, but I really need their time. I really need people to come in and give an hour. If they can give 3 hours, that's a whole event. That's a whole activity for the athletes there, which range basically from 3 to, she's got an athlete that's in his 70s. And so,
Wow.
Great organization. But these types of things do depend on volunteer hours.
Yes, yes. Time is so valuable.
Mhm.
Everybody, no matter what you have in your area, give up time. We talk about local, your local area needs you wherever that is. And so reach out. There's plenty of things going on in the Willamette Valley, in Texas, around the Waco area, but there's so much going on in your local area too, wherever that might be. So yes.
And speaking
please,
of local, if people would like to learn more about the various shows that we have, they can go to local.theexperience.video, and everything is there, including Russ's new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. There's links to our YouTube page. There's links to the book that I have out on business networking. You can learn all about us there, and you can support this program. There's a link there that you can click, and that will take you to a page where you can basically go into the tip jar. And if you're watching this on video and you have your phone, you can hit scan the QR code on screen, and that'll take you to that donation page as well, because we have great sponsors. We are thankful for all the sponsors of the program. We thank those of you who want to contribute directly. And I'll tell you, one of the things you're contributing to is Russ going to Orlando, because I just found out over the weekend that Russ will be, in fact, joining us. Mike Ashebrainer and I will both be speaking at PodFest in Orlando coming up January of 2026. And we've got we got a cabin at the KOA, about 20 minutes away from the convention center, the hotel where all the events are happening. I just like something a little bit more low key. We're in the KOA. We got a cabin, and we're going to be bunking there, the three of us. And we got room for 3 other people. If some other guys want to come and join us in Orlando, we got a spot for you.
I'm so excited. I tell you, it's going to be a great time there, supporting you and Mike, just meeting a lot of people face to face for the first time. And really, this whole thing with our live streaming and podcasting, it's a big deal. Community is where it's all about. And this community around podcasting and live streaming is all going to be there. Thank you to Andrew Weiss and all the people that put that on. We're looking forward to that. So, Scott, but today we're here to talk about you and the WACO experience. Let's really kind of dive into that and let you tell us about your 1-year anniversry you just had.
Boy, I tell you, it is hard to believe that, Russ, we've been here now 14 months. I'll say that our lease took effect on September 6th last year of 2024. And the first episode of the WACO Experience aired on KBBW here in Waco, Texas, with broadcast towers reaching from Dallas to Austin. And Waco was right in the middle between those two. That first episode aired on October 5th. So from the 6th to the 5th. So 1 month from the time that our lease took effect until that episode aired. Boy, I tell you, it was fast. I've met fabulous people over this year. One of the people that I want to highlight is Ryan Williams. He's the owner of the radio station KBBW. His father bought the station back in 1984 and had passed away just a couple of years ago. And Ryan had been working with him for about 20 years, and then he took over the station. And I reached out to him because they had a spot open at Saturday morning at 8:30. I said, that's a perfect time for a business program. In fact, that's when this particular program, The Experience Local, airs on KYKN, Saturday mornings at 8:30. I thought, perfect. That's what I want. And so I did some research, put together a proposal, sent sample audio to Ryan, and he said, yes, we don't have anything like that. Let's put that on the station. KBBW in Waco is a Christian teaching station. So Saturday morning at 8:30 for the last a year and 1 month, we've been airing the WACO Experience, an American story. So it's been fast and fascinating. But he really, I will just say that Ryan really put his trust in me and aired this show. We had never met face to face, and that show went on the air, and boy, I tell you, what a year it's been.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing that you just jumped right in. You know, we've been blessed to be able to do radio here in the Willamette Valley on, you know, the Experience Local here, and you taking and jumping straight to radio there in Waco. It just really helps you dive into the community too and meet people. You met some really interesting people this last year, haven't you?
Yeah, you know, it's been fascinating. There's a local coffee shop called Biddy and Bose, and it's a franchise, and they provide employment for people with developmental disabilities. I was able to go in and record with some of the employees of that of the store there, of the coffee shop, and it was really fascinating just to be able to talk to them about what it means to have a job that they go to, and about their favorite drinks, about their hobbies when they're out of work, when they're not working. And so it was a great experience. I've been able to interview a lot of business owners. Some people have been here for multiple generations in Central Texas and Waco specifically. I've been able to interview government officials like our district attorney, chief of police, and even our U.S. Congressman Pete Sessions, who grew up in Waco. His dad was a judge, was the fourth director of the FBI, and then Pete moved back here to Waco and became a U.S. Congressman. His son, by the way, has developmental disabilities. His second son, he's got two sons. But I believe his father, Pete, and his two sons are all Eagle Scouts. And so we had a great conversation.
Yeah, that is amazing, Scott. I mean, you know, when you really dive into a community, you've hit all different areas of the community, which is so cool. You know, it really gives you a diverse look at what's going on. Waco is really a thriving metropolis there in Texas. People don't realize it's just not Chip and Joanna Gaines, right?
Yeah, it's not quite a metropolis. We're between a couple of them. We're about 90 minutes to Dallas in the north, and about the same 90 minutes to Austin in the south. And we've got 140,000 people in Waco, so very similar to Eugene, Oregon. The town itself is very similar to Corvallis, where I grew up. University town with Baylor University here, right on the Brazos River, like Oregon State on the Willamette River. So a lot of similarities there. But I'll tell you, you know, it's always the people. You know, always find ways to connect with people. And when we decided to move here, and I'll talk about how that happened in a moment, but I said, how am I going to show up? And I said, I want to start a radio show. And that's when I got on the FCC website, looked for the radio station, found KBBW. Ryan Williams agreed to broadcast the show, made all the agreements, put the show up. But when I go and I introduce myself to people and they say, oh, what do you do? And I say, oh, I've got a radio show. It opens up doors differently. And so here on the Experience Local and the Experience on Wednesday, the show, both people will know that both Russ and I are strong supporters of the Chamber of Commerce. So the first group that we joined was the local Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Waco Chamber. We joined a networking group, the Waco Networking Group. We've been involved in Startup Waco. In fact, my wife got there first. They have a weekly meetup that starts right at the same time as our show on Wednesday. But she goes, and then I head over there after that. They had a startup weekend. I actually won the competition for a business idea at Startup Waco. But these types of communities allow us to connect people. And then we become connectors, even though we've only been here a short time. The Chamber of Commerce, Lupe Teichelman, the person, my first friend at the chamber, she came to the ribbon cutting that we had, and I will show a picture there in a moment. We had a ribbon cutting at Startup Waco, and the chief of police was there, Cheryl Victorian. And Lupe had actually never really talked or met with Chief Victorian, and there were some things that she wanted to do, Lupe wanted to do with the police and Chief Victorian, and so I was able to make the introduction. And so it's a lot of fun when you not only connect, but when you start to connect other people.
Yeah, well, for sure. And you and I definitely are huge fans of the Chamber of Commerce, because I think that's where it all starts, in a community, kind of the central hub, and you kind of expand from there. And yeah, meeting not only district officials and police chiefs and all of that. I've been blessed to know most of those in our area because of the same reason. Just a good place to really connect with people. And you also had a surprise guest at your ribbon cutting, didn't you?
Surprise guest. We had put the picture up. We had quite a few guests there, and put the one with the two side by side on there. And right next to me there is Sri Mahabir, which people will recognize from Backstage, the show that we do on Instagram Live every Wednesday morning. Sri is in Houston, and she got notified by Christine, and they, behind my back, got Sri to drive up here to Texas, to Waco, Texas, from Houston, about a 3.5 hour drive. And I was going over to park at Startup Waco, and I literally parked right in front of her car. She was just getting out, and I was so surprised. But she came in, and she did lots of filming and videoing, as you would expect. But there she was, right next to me at the Startup Waco and the ribbon cutting. And then you can see we've got another picture. It's a little bit wider shot there. So we had a lot of people, and a number of these were my guests on the show. And so in the black shirt there, Bobby Horner, he's holding one end of the ribbon, and he was a guest on my show. You can see Chief Victorian just up and behind Christine. You can see her badge there. And just so many people that were guests, just to the right of Chief Victorian is Inez Russell. She was the second guest on my show, and so she's the one who founded Friends for Life, and we had met her back in June when we were out on a house hunting trip. So, but I'll just tell you a little bit about the background about how we ended up coming to Waco, because we were looking at how we were going to celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary. Well, people remember 2017, the eclipse that went coast to coast went right over our backyard in Adair Village, Oregon. We were in the backyard with the kids and the glasses and the whole thing. And when that eclipse was over, I turned to Christine and told her, now I know why people fly to Rio for a 2-minute experience, because it was just unbelievable. So an amazing experience to be. She says, there's an eclipse going through Texas in April on the year of our anniversary. Well, because we do all of these different shows, we know people all over the country, and including all around Texas. So we decided to spend our anniversary here in Texas. We flew into Dallas. We came to Waco. I only knew one person in Waco at the time. We knew people in Dallas. We knew people in Austin. We actually did the eclipse experience here at Waco, and people who are fans of HGTV, Fixer Upper, and the whole Magnolia Silos. We were at the Silos for the eclipse, and that was a lot of fun. We met people in Austin. We went down and saw Cami Hoysa and a bunch of folks at Social Media Breakfast in Houston and actually spoke there. Then we went to Corpus Christi. Then we went up to to San Antonio to the Texas Library Association conference, where Liz Lawless, our friend and the person who helped Russ publish his new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, got into her booth, and we spent 4 days in San Antonio. It was an 18-day experience, and somewhere along that trip, the conversation turned to, well, what about moving to Waco? And it sounded like a good idea to me. And Christine will tell you that she felt drawn to Waco. I felt called. I believe that God was calling me to come to Waco. That was in April. In May, I said, well, if we show up, how am I going to show up? I'll start a radio show. So Ryan Williams helped that happen. We came here in June. We met with Lupe Teichelman from the Chamber at a networking lunch. We went to a BNI, Business Networking International meeting, where Christine met Inez Russell, and who happened to be the key speaker that morning. As she was talking, Christine literally turned and grabbed my arm and said, now I know why I'm coming to Texas. And they have become fast friends and doing all kinds of good work together. But this past year has gone fast. Christine nominated Inez Russell for the Fox News Remarkable Woman of the Year. Inez Russell. Christine wrote the recommendation. Inez won, was selected for Texas, became a national finalist in Hollywood. Christine was on the local news, Fox 44. They filmed a segment when the person from from Hollywood came out, and so she was on the national Fox News. Then we were in the Baylor homecoming parade with the Fox 44 Storm Van and two of the anchors, the weekday anchor, weekend anchor, and they were actually nominated for 4 Lone Star Emmy Awards. They won one this last weekend, and Vince Erickson was my guest. He's the weekend anchor. He was the guest on my show this last weekend. This year has just been unbelievable. I got to record an episode with Congressman Pete Sessions. He was very gracious. I get to spend 2 hours with him on a Saturday afternoon in his office, which is just probably about 6 or 8 blocks from where we live here. We're right off downtown Waco. We talked about so many different things about him growing up here, talked about his dad, talked about his sons, talked about all the people that he grew up with that are still here in Waco, Texas. It was just so much fun, and this year has gone by just incredibly fast. Now it's 14 months, it's just around the corner.
Well, it is amazing. This year has gone so fast for me too, and for different reasons. But, but yeah, I think that it's amazing. Like you said, the town is so familiar, so much like Corvallis, with the river going through, with the college town, all of that. Love that whole vibe, and the fact that you were able to find such great friendships and such great connections over the years. And you mentioned your faith. This is a Christian radio station you broadcast on, like it is here in Oregon, and that faith has really drawn people to you as well. In our last couple of minutes, talk a little bit about that. How God, you said it's a calling for you. How God has really called you into this.
Yeah, as I say, God has given me a platform, and I've been able to interview the pastor of our church, Pleasant Olive Missionary Baptist Church, 1600 East League Street in Waco, Texas. And Pastor Williams will tell you that it's a blessing to be a part of the community. We've been a part of that church for all of the time that we've been here. It was, I think, the second Sunday that we were in town that we started attending Pleasant Olive. And he's been a guest on my show. And I've been able to promote education. One of the early guests last winter was Comic Fest Waco, which was started by a forensic science teacher at University High School just down the road from us here. They promote literacy, and graphic novels and comic books help students learn to read, to be interested in reading. And so we're able to share with the audience all about Comic Fest Waco and what it means for the students. A lot of the nonprofit organizations, Shepherd's Heart, Bob Gager founded that. That's a food pantry that serves thousands of meals, and they have a thrift store that pays for all of the salary for the staff. So when people donate to Shepherd's Heart, 100% of that money is used for people to have food, for people who are experiencing food insecurity. I was able to interview Heaven Lee from the African American Chamber of Commerce. She is in charge of Esther's Closet. And so, and it was named Esther's Closet after Esther in the Bible, who says, God put you here for this very purpose. And Esther's Closet provides a lot of services, not just clothes for women that are looking for employment, but also helps them with interviews and resumes and all those skills to get hired. And so there's just so many opportunities. There's Caritas. Tommy Hutchinson was one of my guests. He is the leader at Caritas, which has a food pantry, but they provide a lot of services to people in the community. And Tommy is in charge of the Veterans Services. So they get grant money from the Texas Veterans Association, and they're able to help with home repairs or auto repairs or rent. Because McLennan County, where Waco is located, we have a 10% higher population of veterans than the average county across America. So a lot of veterans here. So to be able to promote those services for veterans, for Dr. Timothy Packer is at the Cove. The Cove is about a block and a half from where I'm sitting right now. They provide services for homeless youth or near homeless. They provide food. They have showers there. They have laundry facilities. They provide tutoring and help for the students to be able to be successful. And so God gave me this platform so that I can promote that out to the local community. And the WACO Experience, an American Story, the last thing here, Russ, is that although I focus on Waco, these are issues that are in communities all across the country. Housing, education, medicine, crime, jobs, all of these things. Waco's doing a pretty good job. And if we can inspire people, then we've been successful at the WACO Experience.
That's so amazing, Scott. I mean, it just is amazing. And I'm so proud of all that you've done. I'm so grateful that you're such a blessing in my life. And now you've got so many people there that you're blessing. And yeah, we're going to have to talk more about this another time. I just want to remind everybody, we're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that would be 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. This does convert to audio podcast and plays on local radio, the Experience Radio Network. So check that out as well. And with that, we're out of time. So we need to wrap things up for today. But so thankful, Scott, that you were able to give kind of a little look at all this going on this week. And don't forget, everybody, just a quick reminder that we have the book signing coming up locally. Willamette Valley Christian Supply, 10 to 4, Saturday, the 22nd. Please be there. And with that, Scott, we're going to say goodbye for another week.
Yep.
Everybody have a blessed.
Go to the WACOExperience.com and subscribe to the podcast.
Yes, exactly. The WACOExperience.com. And with that, everybody have a blessed and amazing week. We'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Experience Local with Russ and Scott.